You must die before you truly live, ego death, and the rebirth of the authentic self. What if the greatest mystery you'll ever solve is you? Beneath the surface of your daily routine lies an entire world, a vast inner landscape shaped by your fears, dreams, and forgotten memories. And unlocking it could change not only how you see yourself, but also how you live your life. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover might just rewrite your entire understanding of who you are. From childhood, we're taught to navigate the outside world, to measure success through achievements, recognition, and fitting into expectations. But seldom are we encouraged to explore the deeper, quieter terrain within. Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung believed that this overlooked realm, the inner self, holds the key to true transformation. According to Jung, the path to becoming whole doesn't lie in becoming something new, but in rediscovering who you've always been. This journey of self-awareness, or what Jung called individuation, isn't about perfection. It's about integration. It's about facing every part of yourself, even the shadows, and learning how to walk alongside them, not run away. Imagine carrying a suitcase through life that you never once opened. Inside it are beliefs, fears, and truths you inherited or locked away long ago. Jung believed that becoming fully yourself means unpacking that suitcase, no matter how uncomfortable its contents may be. One of his most powerful concepts is that of the shadow. These are the pieces of ourselves that we suppress, the anger we deny, the envy we hide, the pain we pretend isn't there. But ignoring the shadow doesn't erase it. It only gives it power. Facing it, on the other hand, reclaims your inner strength. But here's the challenge. Society rewards masks. It teaches us to smile through pain and to strive for success at the cost of authenticity. That's why many people live entire lives without ever knowing who they truly are. Self-knowledge isn't a luxury. It's not a hobby. It's survival, especially in a world full of noise. The more disconnected we are from our core, the more easily we're swayed by trends, opinions, and fear. Jung's teachings are like a compass in the chaos. He believed we each carry within us an inner blueprint, a map designed for our personal evolution. But it doesn't unfold unless we walk the path inward. Through dreams, emotions, synchronicities, and reflection, our psyche constantly whispers clues about who we really are. But most of us are too distracted to listen. Take dreams, for instance. Jung saw them not as random stories, but as messages from the unconscious, an ancient language trying to reconnect us with the parts of ourselves we've forgotten. And then there's the idea of the persona, the social mask we wear. To fit in, Jung warned that when we mistake the mask for our identity, we cut ourselves off from authenticity. Real confidence comes from embracing who we are beneath the performance. You might be wondering, what's the payoff of all this inner work? The answer is simple: freedom. Not the kind that's handed to you, but the kind you carve out yourself. Freedom from unconscious habits, from inner conflict, and from chasing validation. The more you understand yourself, the less life controls you, and the more you begin to shape it. This isn't just psychology. This is a spiritual revolution, one that begins in silence, in introspection, and in the courage to ask uncomfortable in questions. Coming up in the next block, we'll explore how Carl Jung's concept of the collective unconscious connects you not only to your personal history, but to the story of humanity itself. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more insights into the soul's journey. The collective unconscious. We are more than we know. Beneath our personal struggles and victories, Carl Jung uncovered something deeper, a shared psychic inheritance called the collective unconscious. Unlike the personal unconscious, shaped by your own life experiences, the collective unconscious is universal. It's the timeless memory of humanity itself, passed down through generations, encoded in all of us. This idea may sound abstract, but you've likely felt it. Have you ever reacted to something instinctively without knowing why, or experienced a symbol, a dream, or a myth that stirred something ancient inside you? According to Jung, that's the collective unconscious speaking. At the heart of this unconscious realm are archetypes, symbolic figures and patterns that appear across cultures, eras, and beliefs. The hero, the mother, the wise old man, the trickster. These are more than characters in stories. They're blueprints within your psyche, shaping your behavior, desires, and fears. When you connect with these archetypes, you're not just learning about yourself, you're tuning into a deeper current that flows through all of us. That's why myths and legends from vastly different civilizations echo each other. The same symbols, the same journeys. It's not a coincidence, it's collective memory. Jung argued that many modern problems stem from disconnection, not just from society, but from our inner mythology. When we forget our connection to these deep patterns, we drift, we lose meaning, and in a world obsessed with speed and surface, this disconnection becomes chronic. But reconnecting with the collective unconscious can restore that meaning. It helps you understand why certain roles feel right or wrong, why some dreams haunt you, why a piece of art or music moves you to tears. You're not reacting randomly. You're responding to ancient truths encoded within you. This insight has massive implications. It means that healing isn't only personal, it's ancestral. Your growth ripples backward and forward through time. When you confront your inner wounds, you also heal part of a much older human story. Think of it like this. Each of us is a single note in a cosmic symphony. The more in tune we become with ourselves, the more harmony we bring to the entire song. So how do you tap into the collective unconscious? Jung emphasized tools like active imagination, dream analysis, and symbolic thinking. These are not intellectual exercises. They're bridges between the conscious and unconscious minds. For example, journaling your dreams and interpreting their symbols through your emotions, not just logic, can reveal hidden parts of yourself. Exploring myths, fairy tales, and spiritual traditions can awaken dormant archetypes inside you. Jung didn't see the unconscious as a place to be feared. He saw it as sacred ground. And every time you reflect, question, or meditate, you're stepping into that inner temple. But don't be mistaken, this journey requires courage. Because to discover your light, you must first pass through your darkness. In the next block, we'll enter that shadowy terrain and learn how facing your deepest fears can unlock your greatest potential. If you're beginning to see yourself and your story in a new way, drop a comment below. What archetype do you resonate with most? And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your journey is just beginning. Embracing the shadow, the path to wholeness, the parts of yourself you've been taught to hide. They don't disappear, they go underground. This is what Carl Jung called the shadow, the unconscious side of your personality made up of everything you reject, deny, or fear within yourself. Society rewards control, predictability, and positivity. But real human beings are complex. We carry contradictions. Jung believed that healing begins when we stop pretending to be pure and start embracing all that we are. Ignoring the shadow doesn't make it harmless. In fact, it's the opposite. What remains unconscious controls your life from behind the curtain. Ever found yourself reacting intensely and irrationally, then wondering why? That's the shadow, lashing out to be seen. But here's the truth. Your shadow isn't evil. It's wounded. It's the part of you that got shamed, silenced, or punished somewhere along the way. And when you finally turn to face it with honesty instead of judgment, something powerful happens. Integration. Integration means you stop dividing yourself. You become whole, not by being perfect, but by accepting your humanity. When you acknowledge your anger, for example, you can redirect its energy into courage. When you face your envy, you uncover your hidden desires. This isn't easy work. It demands reflection, honesty, and often grief, but it also brings liberation. You become less reactive. You begin to understand others more deeply, and your decisions stop being shaped by fear. Jung warned that those who ignore their shadow become prisoners of it, but those who confront it gain self-mastery. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. The threats didn't grow, you just stopped being blind. So how do you do this? Start by observing your emotional triggers, not with shame, but curiosity. Notice the things that make you uncomfortable in others, because often those are parts of yourself you've disowned. Write about them. Speak with a trusted friend or therapist. Use creative outlets like art or poetry to express what you usually suppress. Shadow work isn't something you finish. It's a lifelong practice, but each time you meet your darkness with compassion, you make space for more light. Up next, we'll explore the ultimate goal of Jung's psychology, individuation, and how it can transform your life, relationships, and sense of purpose. If this resonates, give this video a like and share it with someone who's ready to explore the depths of their own soul. Individuation, becoming truly you. Carl Jung believed that the purpose of life is not to reach some ideal version of perfection, but to become yourself. Not who society says you should be, not who your fears shaped you into, but the person your soul has always been quietly urging you to become. This lifelong journey of becoming whole is what Jung called individuation. Individuation is the sacred process of integrating your conscious and unconscious selves. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about returning to the center of who you are, fully aware of your strengths, your flaws, your light, and your darkness. Think of it like assembling a puzzle. Your traits, experiences, wounds, and dreams are scattered pieces. When you start fitting them together, you begin to see the full picture. And often it's not what you expected, but it's far more authentic. But individuation requires letting go. Letting go of old identities. Letting go of roles you played to survive. Letting go of external approval. And that can feel like death to the ego, because it is. This journey will ask you to say no to things you once clung to disappoint others, to choose solitude when the crowd no longer fits. But each time you honor your truth, you come home to yourself. You may discover new passions, question old beliefs, or completely reinvent your life. And that's not failure, it's growth. The false self begins to fade, and the authentic self takes root. In relationships, individuation creates depth. You stop needing people to complete you. Instead, you connect through mutual wholeness. Love becomes a meeting of two sovereign souls, not a search for missing pieces. Professionally, you may feel called to pursue work that feels meaningful, not just profitable. You'll feel less drawn to impress and more drawn to express, because your life begins to reflect your inner calling. Even spiritually, individuation changes everything. It moves you from dogma to direct experience, from seeking outside gurus to trusting the voice within. And yet, individuation is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning of true freedom. You are no longer split. You are no longer performing. You are simply living fully, consciously, and courageously. In the final block, we'll explore how embracing Jung's teachings can transform our chaotic modern world, starting with your own daily choices. If you're on this journey of becoming, let us know in the comments. What are you reclaiming about yourself? And if this message speaks to your heart, subscribe our channel, Psycosophy, for more insight into inner truth. Inner alchemy, changing yourself, changing the world. The world we live in is loud. It rewards speed, productivity, and appearances. But Jung's wisdom whispers something radical. The greatest act of rebellion is to know yourself. In a society addicted to distraction, self-awareness becomes a revolutionary act. Inner change doesn't stay inside. When you begin to see your own patterns, you naturally relate to others with more compassion. When you face your fears, you stop projecting them onto the world. Transformation spreads from the personal to the collective. This is how we begin to heal, not just ourselves, but our families, our communities, our cultures, because consciousness is contagious. When you live in integrity, you give others permission to do the same. But none of this happens without responsibility. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." That's the challenge and the gift of awakening. In a world of division, your integration becomes medicine. In a world of fear, your awareness becomes light. In a world of chaos, your calm becomes anchor. The path of self-knowledge is not easy, but it is sacred. It brings purpose to your pain, direction to your confusion, and meaning to your existence. You don't need to become someone else. You simply need to remember who you are beneath the conditioning, beneath the noise, beneath the fear. So pause, reflect, begin the work. Read Jung, journal your dreams, talk to your shadow, follow the threads of meaning that stir your soul. Because knowing yourself is not selfish. It's your sacred responsibility. And when you change your inner world, the outer world slowly begins to reflect it. The chaos doesn't disappear, but your perception, your power, and your peace shift completely. This is the power of Jung's message. It isn't locked in textbooks or confined to therapists' offices. It's alive. It's whispering through your dreams, your conflicts, and your desires. And if you're willing to listen, your life will never be the same. Thank you for joining this journey inward. If it moved you, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Psycosophy. And let us know what truth you're ready to uncover.